which is key. As I said earlier, we support the national budget. We've been given a projection of 4.4 million for this fiscal period. So far, we have gone 9 months. We have done over a little over 3 million United States dollar.
Okay.
So we are anticipating that by the end of the year, the fiscal year, we have done or met or exceed our projection. So we are doing good, to promote.
Okay. Now, so let's talk about first your first obligation, your mandate, making sure that our borders are secured. Now, Mr. Buri or Commissioner Buri, where are we now? Because I know I spoke with you some time ago, and you spoke about some logistical problem, challenges, the issue of manpower as well. Where are we now, especially with all the noise concerning Burkina Faso coming in?
Well, challenges will never end. We don't see that as a barrier. We have scarce resources. We are maximizing on those resources to ensure that the job is done. And that even the great United States has challenges when it comes to border security.
Surely.
So how much more about our little country, Liberia?
Okay.
But we are doing our best. My strength is we have committed and dedicated officers that are working 24/7. We engage the locals, the dwellers living in surrounding villages and towns along the border. In fact, they play a very critical role by providing information on strange movements to the Border Patrol Unit that is conducting surveillance patrol, both foot and mobile. As a result, we have been interdicting a number of intruders into our territory. So I'll say heads up to our border dwellers.
Okay.
Because without them, it wouldn't have been possible.
You make a reference to citizens that are living around the borders?
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, they are working 24/7, assisting the Liberian Immigration Service. We can't cover all of the area, those hard to reach area. You can't have men planted all over the area. So we rely on intelligence information that they provide to us. And based on those information, we have been arresting individuals smuggling arms, smuggling goods into Liberia, even taking goods, essential goods from Liberia to other countries across the sub-region. So we want to applaud them and thank them for the work they are doing. I want to recognize them as head of the institution, that they are doing well for the government.
Do you have many men at the border points?
Actually, we have significant number of officers that are committed in executing the task.
Okay.
So we are doing pretty fine. As I said earlier, we can go to bed and be assured that there's no problem at the border. If you look at our history, there was November 12, 1985, when there was an invasion through the Cape Mount border side. You also agree with me, there was also another invasion that came through Butuo in Nima County. But now, since that time, we have not had anything like that because of the tremendous work being done at the very border crossing point.
Now, when you talk about tremendous work being done, are you saying that the illegal crossing points as well are also secured? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, by and large, I would say yes. We're making sure that we're working along with our counterparts across the region, the sub-region. We engage them, share intelligence. If there's any suspicious activity that has the propensity of undermining the democracy that we enjoy today, it will be raised and we'll deal with it accordingly. So we are doing our best.
Now, when you talk about border security, it's quite important. We continue to hear from, especially stakeholders of Nigeria, about the illegal entry of Burkina Faso. Has that really claimed the attention of the immigration services? And if so, where are they? How are they entering the country?
Absolutely. It's sad to state here that the coming of Burkina Faso, and not only just Burkina Faso, but other West African national, the Ghanaians, some Malians coming into our forest to conduct illegal activities such as illicit mining, hunting, and harvesting of steak. They call it chewing steak. It's very unique to the Ghanaians.
Okay.
They come into the country.
They come into the country for that.
For that.
They come in huge numbers or what?
Yes. When I say huge number, it's relative. But again, our major challenge in that area has been our own local people. They are in conspiracy. They are the one encouraging.
The citizens living around the border.
Borders.
But you just initially said
But
that they are.
I agree.
You said they were helpful to your operation.
Yeah, I'm looking at the most security part where they provide intelligence, but not all of them. You can't have everybody doing the same thing.
Surely.
You have some unscrupulous, members involved in this kind of illegal activity.
Okay.
But for the most part, you have a lot of good people that have been providing us the right information, and we have been dealing with it. We have planned to deal with the Burkinabe issue that is not just unique to Grand Judea, but other countries along Ivory Coast. These Burkinabes transit through Ivory Coast, and they use illegal crossing points to enter through the Kabbalah River into Liberia. And like I said earlier, it's being done with the involvement of some of our locals. Why it's true we have locals providing, some intelligence or some good information that we can use to interdict a lot of people, but we have some unscrupulous Liberian citizens that are involved in this kind of business because they find it lucrative. They bring in these foreigners, they pay them little money to farm for them, and harvest their product, cocoa and coffee, the bottom line, that what they are mainly engaged in. But we are working from our side to see how we can even document all of them electronically, create a database, take their photographs, and make sure that we can go out there and then see them in person, wherever they are, whoever they work for on their farms and all that. We'll go there one by one and document them. Because they are ECOWAS.
But how soon, Mr. Budi, Commissioner Budi, how soon this going to happen? Because we continue to so hear about their entry into the country, especially illegally.
Well, we have 176 border towns with Guinea, Sierra Leone, and Ivory Coast. We have 39 of those towns that have immigration personnel. 39. The reason being because the rest of the other towns don't have roads leading to those towns. You have to walk 4 or 5 hours to get to those towns. So it makes it very, very difficult to have people deployed there. So we rely on the locals there to assist us.
Okay.
Why it's true that we have the armed border patrol unit that conducts foot and mobile patrol. Some of them go into those places by foot and walk in those hard-to-reach areas, tropical areas, very thick forest. Even though they are well armed, so they go in there and do some patrols, make sure that they won't come across on illegal activities. But notwithstanding, there are still bypasses that other criminal organizations will use. I'll give an example of the USA, while you have the Mexican border with fence, you got drones, you got helicopters, you got men planted there. They build tunnels. And people go underground from Mexico and enter into the USA. So
can you imagine that?
Yeah, you can see that the criminals want to be one step ahead of the security. But we are doing our part. But if our locals were not supporting these movements, of course, you won't have Burkinabes in those forests. But the locals are the ones that are involved, deeply involved, and making it difficult for state security actors to act. So we want to, like I said, they are ECOWAS citizens. We want to document them. We want to find a way to document.
So how soon will that happen?
Well, it requires resources, and now we have informed the relevant government authority to provide us mobility, to provide us high-tech cameras, biometric finger pads for the 4 different counties, generators and all that, with some allowance so that we can go in there, as I said earlier, to ensure that we can document them. That's very, very important.
Is it an appeal that you've made to the government or to international partners?
Both government and international partners. And pretty soon we'll be getting some favorable response.
How much in total, you think?
Well, it's a lot of money,
A lot of money
a lot of money
to go and identify the Burkinabes and document them as well.
document because you need equipment to do that. You're not just going there to see them and then you talk with them. No, you have to take the photograph. You have to use the fingerprint pad, store the information, create a card that they are in your territory, and then work along with your embassy and the foreign ministry to see how we can properly coordinate this. Like I said earlier, they are equal citizens, so we have to treat them fair.
Let's ask you, Mr. Commissioner, what are you doing to ensure that ahead of 2023, we don't face or hear about people cross purporting as Liberians, to participate in our general and presidential elections. What are you doing to ensure that that doesn't happen?
Well, there's a age-old problem where people come over the border. We have tribes that are in Liberia and also in Guinea, Sierra Leone, and Cote d'Ivoire. So you can see the tax or the challenge that the Liberian immigration has to go through. So many years when there were elections, we see people coming across the border. Some that they use illegal crossing points to enter. But you see, they have to come and acquire the voter registration card from the National Election Commission.
Okay.
So we want to use the platform to appeal to the commission when they are issuing voter registration cards. Since they have the exclusive right to do that, we are appealing to them to let immigration be around, be there, to verify whether these individuals are legitimate citizens. Because many times we found cards in the hands
Of foreigners.
that are non-Liberians.
Okay.
So to avoid that and to have a free and fair election, we need to participate in that process, which has not been taking place at all.
It hasn't been taking place.
No.
So the National Elections Commission just
exclusively issue for the registration card.
Wow.
When they do their validation, they speak to the applicant, they issue the cards. We are not participating in that process.
I heard the next year talking about using the national identification cards as a criteria. You think would that help? You think?
I think that
Even with the exclusion of the immigration, would that still help?
no, the NIR, the National Identification Registry, we have immigration officers deployed at all of their centers.
Okay.
But just quite recently in Harper, a Ghanaian was arrested with a laptop, with a printing card. He had been issuing national ID cards to citizens of Maryland County.
Can you imagine that?
I mean, I will show to you while we speak on the
I hope our camera can pick up that.
yeah, very serious issue. We arrested the Ghanaians about 4 or 5 days ago. He has now been turned over to the Liberia National Police.
He's still in your custody.
No, he has been turned over to the Liberia National Police for further investigation and prosecution. He has several blank cards. He has his laptop. He has the machine, and he's producing national identification cards. So you can see the challenge all over the place, So I just want to let you know that we have a challenge in our area. If for any reason we have to go into this election, we need biometric hard tech cards, fully secure with a lot of security features.
So in other words, you are saying that let's try to pick up that.
Okay, this is the Ghanaian,
This is Ghanaian, okay.
right here. That's him here in the cuff with the immigration officer. He's being arrested.
He was arrested producing national ID cards.
Yeah, I'll show you the card. Okay, these are the blank cards back here, and I want to show you these are the back of the cards, but I want to show you the front side of the card.
Can you imagine that?
Yeah.
And the card I'm holding is almost like that.
Okay, so you can see. I'll just put a video on.
They are the blank cards that Oka used to print the national ID cards. They are the blank cards. According to Mr. Oka, there are about 100 pieces in this bank. According to him, there are 100 pieces of this that form and make of the part here. So you see the above one that is shutting already. These are the one that he used. These are the one that he used, and that's the remaining one here. So thank you very much.
Can you imagine that?
So you were speaking about national identification. I spoke with the.
So in another word, Mr. Commissioner Budi, it means that the national identification cards, I mean, they are not, no.
It being duplicated.
So we can use it for a national elections purpose or what?
It's not guaranteed because you can just see now that individual out there producing the cards. So are you going to use it? It's a major issue, and nobody knows how many persons out there.
Have you notified the agency that's responsible to print these cards?
I spoke with the director, the executive director, Tia Nangbe. I spoke to him immediately when the arrest was made, and I to inform him he needs to follow up with the police in Harper because the suspect has been turned over to the police for investigation and prosecution. It's a Ghanaian national. So you can imagine how many of those cards out there being printed by unscrupulous people.
Can you imagine that?
Yeah, so I just want to throw that out to you so that you know.
We're hoping that we can get Mr. Tia Nangwe on the line to hear from him whether he's quite aware of the faking of the cards that he's printing. Yeah. Now, so you said the guy has been turned over to the Liberia National Police.
Yeah, there's the receipt, the turnover note.
Okay.
Police issued to immigration that they received the man into their custody.
In Maryland?
In Maryland, Harper, Maryland County. So we have been collaborating, and that's not the only incident that have occurred. You know, we arrest people, illegal possession of firearms, we turn over the Liberia National Police, we arrest people with drugs, we turn over the Liberia DEA, we arrest people that are smuggling cargo into Liberia, we turn over to the customs, Liberia Revenue Authority. We have been doing now on numerous occasions.
Okay.
It's almost like a routine.
Okay, let's see what we can talk to Tia Nangwe quickly. Mr. Nangwe is the head of the National Identification Registry. Mr. Nangwe, welcome to the program.
Thank you.
What do you know? We got the head of the country's immigration services. He's on our platform currently. He just made a revelation about the arrest of a Ghanaian who's printing your cards. What do you know about this?
Well, I mean, this was brought to our attention last week. And so we are working with the police and other authorities to get to the bottom of it.
Now, but were you able to see the cards that the guy is printing?
I haven't seen the cards yet. I saw some photos of them. They look obviously different from our cards, but our cards and the system that we use is pretty sophisticated enough to prevent those cards from being used in any meaningful way.
But Mr. Nangwe, what I'm seeing doesn't look different from what you are printing, especially what I'm seeing when being displayed by the head of the immigration.
Well, it might look similar, very similar to you because you don't deal with this regularly. But for those that deal with the cards regularly, in fact, the cards were brought to our attention before the arrest was made. This was brought to our attention by an international non-governmental organization a week prior to the arrest that operates in that area because their staff were able to detect that the cards were fake.
Now, so what are you going to do now? How are you going to handle this? Because the cards supposed to be used for election purposes.
So the thing is, it is an unfortunate reality that have a tendency, but ID authorities like ourselves